here's another interesting effect for you, and I wasn't sure whether to put it under brushes or other tools, because what we're going to be using now is a toothbrush, okay? Preferably one that you're no longer using to brush your teeth with. This can be a very useful tool for simply making spattering marks. Now, what I've done is mix myself a nice big puddle of green, not too runny, fairly milk consistency, okay? So you get it on your brush, and then with either your thumb or your forefinger, I favour my forefinger, I find it easier, you point down and simply splatter. And you'll get a very nice variety of different sized marks. Now, that's onto dry paper. If you wanted to, let's see what it does on wet. Well, we know what it's going to do, don't we? It's going to spread quite a lot. So here we go again. There, look at the difference between those two. Isn't that interesting? That's really defined marks, and that, it's gone a bit like marbling. Isn't that lovely? Now, the other thing you can do as well is use a mask to block off areas. So to show the difference, I'm going for a bit of blue. Just need to mix a bit more. I haven't bothered to clean the paintbrush because it's only for a demonstration. By the way, the paintbrush was dry to begin with. Right, there's a bit of bluey green just to show the difference. And then I can use a mask, not touching that because it's still wet. And you can just see, I didn't make the colour different enough, but you can just see there is a differentiation there. Now that is really rather fun. Where would you use it? Well, wherever you like. You can use it to bring variation to the texture of ground, or for a still life, or for flowers, all sorts of things. As I always say, it's a question of having so many tricks up your sleeve. Just lock them away in the filing cabinet that's your brain, and they'll pop forward when needed, hopefully. Now, another great thing to do with your stippling or spattering, I'm going back to the green. In fact, just bear with me while I mix a little bit more. What am I always saying about mixing enough paint? Let's put some blue in there. And again, not too wet. You see, you couldn't apply a stencil as you would normally with a stencil brush, which you go dab, 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 because this would be too wet. It would just splurge underneath. So this is why this spattering effect is quite useful. I'm holding it fairly high up, and I should have masked off there. But you will get the idea anyway. Hopefully. It's one of the interesting things about this game. It's always a bit different. And do make sure you don't point it at yourself and you're wearing your best white shirt or something. Right, okay, now let me just wipe my rather wet green finger, and let's just gently, oh, ta-da! Well, that's a relief. You never quite know with these things. Now, isn't that super? Okay, you're thinking, where would I want to use that, Nicola? Well, again, anywhere you like. If you were in fact doing a picture of some foliage or a still life or whatever, you could do your vague background in greens or whatever colour you're going to use, and you could put a stencil on just to help give the impression, and we could put and let that dry, and you could do it again on top. So this is really a lot of fun to have a go with. So do have a play, try different things. You can stick little circles down that mask the paper. As I say, try it on dry, try it on wet, and see if you can find a stencil. Or if you haven't got a stencil, cut a shape out of a piece of paper and you'll have the same thing. So I think that's a lot of fun, and I hope you do too. Anything else that you come up with, please share it with me. I'm always looking for new ideas.